Hello friends, and welcome to my anticipated 5-star reads. Side note, I am sick, so that's why I sound awful. But I still wanted to film this video because I wanted to have something to upload. I have like a schedule of what videos I'm planning out for the rest of the month. Basically, this is on there, so I wanted to go ahead and get it in there before I read some of these books. And so, even though I'm sick, I'm still making it. First, I'm going to show you the book, and then I will tell you what it's about and why I think it will be a 5-star read for me. And we're just gonna bear through my sick voice together. So the first book I am talking about is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I am very excited about this book. So basically this book follows college roommates Victor and Eli as they kind of come up with this idea using near-death experiences and adrenaline, those sorts of things. They come up with this thesis that anyone can develop like superhuman abilities, extraordinary abilities using these kinds of things like near-death experiences, that kind of stuff. And basically as they get into their work on their thesis, things go horribly wrong. I don't know much else more about this book, but the reason I think that it will be a 5-star read for me is, one, I've seen so many people say that this is their favorite book, and so I'm really excited. I loved Addie LaRue. It was a 5-star read for me, and I really liked V. Schwab's like writing style in Addie LaRue. So I have very high hopes for this book. I've been putting it off for so long because me and my friend both have copies of it and we want to read it together, and so I'm waiting on him to finish the books he's reading, and he's waited on me to finish the books I'm reading. So we're trying to like figure out when our like schedule will work, but I think this will be the next book I read, and so I'm very excited about it, and I'll keep you updated. I know this is gonna be a 5-star read for me. I just can already tell by like the whole idea of it, and it's V. Schwab. So I think Vicious will be a 5-star read for me for sure. Next we have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I know next to nothing about this book. It's dystopian. I loved dystopian novels in high school. I know that there's like a class system based on colors, and our main character Darrow is a red, and basically like they do all the work, and they are under the impression that they're working towards creating Mars's surface to be livable for like their children, and they find out that people have been living on the surface for a long time and they've been betrayed, and Darrow now is like on this quest to destroy his enemies with whatever it takes. I think I'm really gonna like this because I like dystopians. I haven't read one in a while really, other than I think Brave New World was the closest thing to dystopian I have recently read, but I've only heard good things about this. I've seen so many people say it was their favorite and that they love it, and so I'm thinking that this is just going to be the type of read that I'm obsessed with, and it's a trilogy and I like trilogies, so I'm really having high hopes for Red Rising. Next I have The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. It follows this girl who's living in like Nazi Germany during like World War II. Her family takes in a Jew who is living in their basement. So when they're navigating that, you know, if you get caught doing that, it's game over for you, which is really sad. But this girl becomes the book thief because she picks up a book that is going to be burned in one of these Nazi book burnings, and she like takes it in and keeps it. So she is stealing books from the Nazis, which I feel like is really cool. I do know how this ends because I've seen part of the movie on accident, but it's historical fiction, and I really like World War II. World War II is like one of my favorite like historical time periods, so I think I will really enjoy this book. I know it's gonna make me cry, but I have a feeling it will be a 5-star read for me, and it's pretty high up on my list right now for TBR. I also have, I think it's pronounced Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. This is a Greek mythology retelling of the Princess of Crete, and her brother is the Minotaur, as in the Minotaur in the Labyrinth. And so when Theseus comes to her island, she sees him as her way out. And so she's going to help Theseus defeat the Minotaur, and it's just basically a retelling of her doing that and helping Theseus. But the question is this going to give her a happy ending? And what about the family she's leaving behind? And so it just like follows her journey through this as well. I think I'll love this because it is Greek mythology. I do like the Minotaur and the Labyrinth. So I really have it as a 5-star anticipated read purely because it's Greek mythology retelling and I tend to love those. And I think it's a really interesting concept, and I would love to see more about how they tell kind of her story with the whole Minotaur, and I'm just excited. I really think that this is going to be great. Also, please, everyone, let's take a moment and let's look at this cover. It is absolutely beautiful. This is my May book of the month, and so I'm going to read it soon, and I really have high hopes for this. I've seen lots of good things on Bookstagram. Alright, the last one I actually do not have a physical copy of, and it is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have this en route from Amazon. It should be here in a couple of days, and that will probably end up on my June TBR because I've only heard good things. I've only heard good things about everything that Taylor Jenkins Reid writes. I haven't read any of her books. Daisy Jones and the Six is also going to be on my list eventually, but I think that I really am going to enjoy this book. I know that it follows Evelyn Hugo, who is like a Hollywood icon, and she finally decides that she's going to tell her story to Monique Grant, and Monique Grant is going to be the one to get to write her life, basically her life story. And so Evelyn, it follows her from like the 1950s until the 80s when she finally quits Hollywood, and it goes through all 7 husbands that she has and her time with them, and come to find out her story will intertwine with Monique's in kind of a sad way. I think they are connected in some way, and they're going to realize that amongst her telling her story to Monique. I don't know much else other than people love this book. I've seen like aesthetic videos on Book Talk, and it always seems to be like Hollywood glam, and I've only heard good things from people, so I really think that it will be a 5-star read, if not pretty close to a 5-star read. I'm really excited to see what it's about and see what the hype is about this book because everyone seems to love it, and it just seems to have vibes, you know, if you feel me. So thank you for watching my anticipated 5-star reads that hopefully I will be reading soon, and then I can let you know if they lived up to the expectation or not. If any of these books were 5-star reads for you, let me know. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.